Hey everybody, this is Father Brian with the second video in our oikos series. In the last video, I introduced this general concept of sharing our faith, or as we say in our vision statement, sharing the love of God in our neighborhoods. As Christians, we're called to be witnesses to the good news of Jesus Christ, of what he has done in his cross, and showing us the very nature of God and drawing us into a relationship with God, that we get to live as forgiven, as freed, as people who are, we believe, being transformed into what it means to be truly human. And so this is an approach in which we understand our responsibility as witnesses in relation to the people that are already in our lives. I think sometimes we think of missions and evangelism as something you go across the ocean to do, or the next state, or across the border, or something like that. But this is an approach that asks us to open our eyes to who is already around us. So the first step in this oikos process is to identify your oikos. Again, identify the 8 to 15 people that God has put in your life. And the purpose, the sort of why these people are being raised to your attention is God is calling you to share his love with them. And we're going to, as we move through this process, we'll talk more about what that is about. But in general, it's just, hey, we are identifying these people, and we're saying, all right, I'm gonna be sort of on high alert about how I can love you in the name of Jesus. Of course, we're supposed to do that with everybody, right? But we're human, we're finite, we're limited. So these are people who are saying, okay, I'm gonna really work. I'm gonna really be intentional. I'm gonna think through. I'm gonna orient my time and make decisions so that I am with you in the name of Jesus. And so the book that we're drawing from uses this helpful range of there are 8 to 15, between 8 and 15 people that God has put in your life with this purpose to say, hey, I want you to show these people my love. And these people can be your family members. They can be your literal neighbors, something we struggle with in San Diego. We commute everywhere. We spend most of our time driving away from our neighborhood. But actually, maybe God has put you right where you are for a purpose. These are people who are in the workplace or in the classroom with us, or other circles of friends. So I think what we want to do is just take time, and this is one of the features of this approach, is it takes time. It's just pause and take some time to pray and reflect and say, Lord, who are the people that I spend most of my time with? And that's a great place to start. Who are those that you're already around? And even though if it feels like, well, I'm already around these people all the time, this is okay. It's okay to just identify these people. And there's something about writing them down and saying, okay, God is putting me around these people so much so that I can share his love. So first thing is just reflect and say, who are the people I spend most of my time with? And let me just say, it's okay if those people are already Christians, right? Christians need the love of God too. So for me, my oikos starts with my family, with my wife and my 3 children. They're all baptized, active, faithful Christians, and yet it's still my role to share God's love with them. Now, as you take time to fill this out, maybe write down the people who first come to mind, or you say, okay, I've spent a lot of time with my family, or with my roommate, or my coworkers, or okay, to write those down. And then to say, well, who am I missing? Who is it that I don't spend any time around? Or maybe who is close to me that I'm avoiding? And I would challenge us to make sure that we include, 2 to 5 of the people on our list are people that we should be around more, but maybe we're avoiding. Again, there's a challenge here for us to share God's love, to embody it in people, and to just embrace that God has put us in a place on purpose. So the steps that I want you to take, I'm inviting you to take, and I'm going to take as well, as on Sunday, I take home another oikos bookmark, and it's just take time and pray and reflect and say, okay, Lord, who am I around the most? Who are these people? And then who am I avoiding the most that I should be around the most? And then write that list down. And the bookmark has numbers 1 through 15. These aren't in priority. So you just write them down. And I would love for us to have this list fill out as we go through the Easter season. My desire is that when we get to the service at Pentecost, we are in some way offering the Lord this list. And we have our oikos bookmark, and maybe we have a second copy of it we put in the offering plate. I'm not sure quite yet how we're going to do that, but that we're seeking God's Spirit that we can embody His love in our neighborhoods. But for right now, we're just going to take this step. All right, we're going to just take a little bit of time in prayer and reflection this week to say, who am I around the most, and who should I be around, as I'm trying to identify the 8 to 15 people in my life that God is calling me to invest in and to share His love with them.